Hello everyone and welcome to a very exciting episode here on MIgardener. Now the first thing I'm going to say is I am so sorry that I did not get a chance to bring you all along for this. So what I've done is I'm going to start off by saying anything you want to see of most of this process is going to be over on the Facebook page or on Pinterest, or Instagram, sorry. So Instagram or Facebook, and you're going to be able to see the laying down of the brand new load of compost. We had 30 cubic yards of compost, and so don't mind me, I'm a sweaty mess right now, but we've been working for the past 2 days straight, and today was planting day, so this is the third day. And yeah, it has been a journey. It has been an absolute just experience. I'm trying something totally new this year, a high intensity gardening, kind of using the square foot method on a large scale in ground. So let's get started with the tour here. I think you all are going to find it very exciting, as well as myself, because it's totally new. So come along, I think you guys are going to enjoy this. So the first thing you're going to see is that I only have 3 rows of tomatoes. And the reason why I only have 3 rows of tomatoes is for specifically, I wanted to open up the rest of this garden here. And this is my Noah's Ark tomato project right here. I have 3 rows, and I have them spaced out 18 inches apart, so they're a little bit close, but I was able to maximize the amount of plants, and I was able to get a perfect 3 rows, so that was great. And so that's why we had to space them out just like that. And then obviously here you have just a random mix of peppers. I have some bell peppers and some sweet banana peppers just mixed in. They look very, very healthy. And you're going to see that we are now doing grid patterns, and these grid patterns save a lot of space because you only have a walking path in between the grids, and so it's all sectioned off by a 1.5 foot, specifically a 1.5 foot walking path, and that's just enough to get both of my feet right on there. They are big feet, so I have just enough to get my feet through here, and someone with smaller feet is obviously going to have a little bit more room. But I did that to maximize space, because if I were to do a lane in between each plant, you might think that you're going to get the same, but in a grid pattern, it's way more efficient. So I'm going to have solid grids here. So here I have the peppers. Here I have the kale. This is a mix of asparagus kale and the classic dinosaur kale. I have that, and then I have the blue curled scotch at my home and the red Russian kale at my home. This is Swiss chard here. This is all Rainbow Lights Swiss chard, and or Rainbow Swiss chard or Bright Lights, something like that. Anyways, I have a grid of that here, and I believe I have like 40 something plants in here. So that's that. And then I have my broccoli over here, and I have specifically 1 square foot in between each broccoli plant. So I have 36 plants in here. And then I actually started a lot from seed, so you don't see anything here, but this will all be beets. And the reason why I designated so much to beets is not because we love beets, but because beets are very beneficial when you're juicing, so you need a lot of them. And also they're very good canned. And since one plant only yields 1 beet, we had to designate quite a bit of space here for the beets. And the same will go for carrots when we put those in, and those are going in over there. Now the thing that I'm going to tell you all is that the soil was so black, and if you think that that is kind of a tan color, you're right, it is. That's because that is actually my fertilizer that I spread. It's an all organic, all-purpose fertilizer. I spread that on, and it has also a top dressing of Gaia Green Glacial Rock Dust and azomite. And then I just kind of work that in with a rake, and then it becomes black like the rest of this stuff. So all of that is still unplanted. I'm going to do that as soon as I turn off the camera, and I'm going to have the rest of my plants in here. And I'll also tell you what I'm going to be planting as soon as I'm done with this. So then you come over to this block here, and this block is all parsnips. And parsnips are delicious. We love them. So that's why we have a pretty hefty block here. 10 foot by 6 foot, so 60 square feet of that. Then in this long bed over here, I have all my zucchini. I have 30 something plants. Yeah, I have 30 something. I forgot even how many I planted. I planted 3 in each, so I have about 2 feet spacing, because this is a 6-foot row here. I kept all my grids to be 6 feet. That's why everything is very nice. So it's 6 feet long, so I have 2 feet spacing between each zucchini plant, and then it's, I don't even know how long. I never measured it. I just got the holes spaced, and that's what it was. And then this kind of mess over here is actually my potatoes. And once they come up, I'll be able to know where they're at, but I didn't want to step on any. So it kind of looks like a mess right now. I held them up as good as I could without stepping on any or uncovering any, because my rows aren't always the greatest and neatest. So that'll get neater as it goes. And it should look great when it's up. And then over here, along this trellis, I have 3 different kinds of cucumbers. I have a cucumber per section of trellis here. Down at the very end, I have some Asian yard-long cucumbers. Then I have, in the middle trellis there, I have something called Diva Cucumbers, and those are a beautiful variety where they actually will, they have no male flowers, they're all female, so it's a very cool variety, and a little bit expensive, but I wanted to try it out. And then this last section here was the poinsettia, or no, it was the Market More 76. The Market More 76 went right there, and that is that. Then over here, you see this trellis. Well, you can't really see that trellis because it's, there you go. Now you can see this trellis. So I have this trellis, and I have this trellis. And I'm going to put pole beans right there, and pole beans right there. And that's going to allow me to maximize my space, because you always want to orient the garden east to west. So the sun starts over there, rises up in the sky, and that's why it ends over here with a nice tall trellis. So if I would have put this trellis all the way over there, it would have blocked a ton of plants, and it would have shaded out some. So that's why I have these trellises back here specifically for that reason. Now it comes to the time of what am I going to put in this spot here. I'm going to put, from the start of that cucumber trellis across, all of this is going to be corn, and then in between the corn is going to be carrots. So I'm going to do all of that as kind of a high intensity gardening. The corn will mature, the carrots will grow underneath the corn, and you can just harvest the carrots once the corn is done. So it's very efficient in that way as well. And then over here, I'm going to plant 2 rows of onions. I have a red onion and a white onion. And then I have 1 more row, so 3 rows actually, of my giant onions. I have a competition size onion that I'll do 1 row of those. And then the last little bit there is completely undecided, so I don't know what I'm going to be planting there. And that's the great thing about this, is I have so much extra space that I never had before. So I might plant, I have some World's Hottest Peppers. I might plant a half a row of those or something, or maybe like a little 3-foot by 2-foot block, and then I might plant some cantaloupe over there, who knows. So it's definitely, the options are endless. So I hope you enjoyed this very quick tour of the garden, and hopefully you will all enjoy this year. I've definitely put a fair amount of time and effort into this garden, and so hopefully it pays off in the form of good quality videos and some exciting videos as well for you. And also, I thought I'd also mention that a garden of this size does not have to take a village. You can do it on your own, and I could do it on my own too. It's just with a rush like this and the fact that I do have a very willing family, they just wanted to help. But if you have the time, it's more than possible. I did it last year almost on my own, and then the year before that I did it on my own. So it's just one of those things that it's your choice, and you don't have to do a garden this size, but hopefully it's inspirational, and hopefully it's motivational, and yeah, so that's about all I got. But I'm going to get back to planting. I'm going to plant that stuff before it gets dark, and then I'm going to water it all in, and I will see you all next episode. All right, well, until next episode, this is MIgardener reminding you to grow big or go home, and I'll talk to you all later. See ya. Bye.